Hello.
Hi everyone and welcome
Oh.
to
All right, and wait. Am I live? I'm live. What do you know? I'm live. What do you? I can even hear my own audio. um. Hello. This is my. Oh, it's actually on right now. This is my game I'm working on so far. This is Well, actually, I actually have not come up with a name for it, but I'm just calling it Mace Game right now. You have a mace. You swing it. This game is going to be a top-down dungeon crawler. Very Zelda inspired. Let me see if I can find out. This is my one enemy so far. It's just a gray square. Uh, Today I've been working on the hit reaction, or more like the hit effect. And you can see there's little particle effects that shoot out of the enemy. This guy has a ton of HP because it's for a test. It's for testing how attacks work. So right now I might keep working on this because honestly I do not like how this looks at all. I think I don't know. It's dynamic. It's a different effect every time because I randomize where the particles come out of, but it's really lackluster, I think. Um, some music. I think probably a lot of what I'll be doing today is just looking at
Hi
tutorials.
everyone and
So you might hear tutorials like that. Not that that one is actually too important for me. Actually, let me make sure you can hear those tutorials. I believe you should be able to. But at any rate, yeah, I will. Today, I was thinking I might implement the, uh, not the map itself, but the map editing tools, so I can start making any kind of level design. Then well, it's a bit far off. First, I need to add actual enemy AI before I can start adding pathfinding and having that do anything. But I will probably add pathfinding at some point. um, just gonna get some music on real quick. And hope it's not too loud, ideally. And hope it loads. Perfect. Okay. It's maybe a little loud. And, if I make a lot of progress, I'll probably play Toontown after. Or anything. Hold on. We're so live. We're so live. uh Not that anyone's gonna see it yet, but I made this stream well for VODs. If you're watching this back later, I made this stream unlisted, but now it is public. So you might actually start getting people. I think what I want to start doing is adding in uh, really basic motion for the enemy so far. So I'm just gonna add in a little circle here, move this up towards that enemy, maybe in front of the enemy, ideally. and then put that right in the enemy. Now I'll be able to see which way they're facing. It's a little, very simple trick for a very simple problem. Then, for the enemy, let's see. I'll have to show you my... Well, I'm gonna have to show you my entire computer, actually, because I'll be swapping to the code a lot. Oh. There you go. Let's see. Mates game. Enemy. So I'll start out probably at int, or not int, public float. Float is a decimal. Movement speed. Movement speed. It's out of method right here. Void. Move toward player. Had the calc mace angle. Well, I can't really rename that because I've already used this method too much, but I will generalize this method a bit. Now I will do transform mace. And now, I'm still gonna have to anywhere, yeah, calc mace angle. I believe that is the only instance of that method so far. That will result in my code being a little spaghetti-ish. So let me just comment. This is for compares angle from self to past transform. Now then, move toward player. I would simply calc mace angle. Oh, I actually have to pass the player. So let's do that. Public transform player. I should say making a variable public in Unity. It allows you to change the variable from the Unity editor itself, not from Visual Studio. And it allows you to change that variable's value while the game is running. Did I not just add the player? Thought I just... I got so many things open. Public transform... and save it. Public transform player. Calc mace angle player. Oh, now I'm gonna have to do some math. Self.position equals new vector 3 self.position.x plus, what would it be? How does trig work? That is the question currently. Would be opposite over the hypotenuse. I know what the hypotenuse is, so I divide the to derive the opposite, it's the cosine divided by the movement speed. So math function cosine of I should say float angle to player. Angle to player equal now this should have the, well, just the x position move towards the player divided by movement speed. Then just do the same thing for the y coordinate, but with sine, because that's how trig works. I'm very sorry if you had to tune in for trig. I should see if my... Yeah, my mic's still working. Angle to player. That I did not miss a parenthesis. And that's basically it. And then I will just bring this into... So this function, let me comment this in right here, activates while having recovered from attack. So this whole body of code should only happen when the enemy has been attacked. So this section I'm about to add will be standard. Move toward player. So essentially anytime the enemy isn't attacked or recovering from an attack, they will be trying to move towards the player. Maybe it should have acceleration. That wouldn't be too hard to implement, but let's just see if this works at all, angle-wise. Just slide the player right in there. Movement speed, it's gonna be... This is the movement speed for every frame, so it should be really low. Now let's see. Does it move toward the player? No. Not only that, now the mace is messing up for some reason. It's acting very strange. So, I'm going to comment this out and see what nightmare I've just wrought upon my code. So move towards player was affecting the... Oh. This is changing the... No, this isn't really changing the mace position at all. Oh, well... we could say, other. Then just replace every instance of mace, which there's only actually 2, so I do not have to be lazy there. Calc angle 2. Then calc mace angle, I'll just replace that with whatever I just called this, calc angle 2. And then here's the same thing up here. Calc angle to player. This should hopefully not be so terribly messed up. Let's see it. Oh, I still commented out. Let me... What did I put that? Right here. Move toward player. Yeah, it does calculate the angle. If this doesn't work, I will have to print whatever the... And the mace isn't working. That doesn't really make sense to me, actually. That doesn't make sense at all, it would seem. I mean, this doesn't reference the mace at all in this method. I have no idea. What? What? Then I will... And move toward player. Where did I put that? I put that above here. I will comment out... Oh? No, I just want to comment out this line. Oh, I can't even do that, actually. I could say angle to player equals 0. Easy. Easy peasy. That should make the enemy move really fast in one direction. And if not, I will be extremely confused. Oh, there he goes. Hold on. Let's give him some negative movement speed. Yep, there. Alright, let's see. Where did he go? He went really far, actually. I mean, the movement definitely works. It's very rapid. For some reason. I have it on fixed updates, so it should be running at... it should be moving every 60th of a second, every frame. Oh! Would you look at that? I'm just gonna reset this real quick. Oh. Now there's the skeleton. 0.00001. Ah. I think that was too small. Zero point zero zero one. Huh. In the world coordinates, beam object within a smaller range. Yeah, so it's moving really fast. Hmm. You know what? I probably did math wrong. I bet that's what happened. Oh, the wide position was all messed up. Why did my movement speed? I mean, is that not how you calculate the hypotenuse? Or the x component of the diagonal vector is the angle. Let me just look this up. There's no reason to keep guessing. How to calculate the x component. I'm so sorry to anyone who has to watch this trig class of a vector. From the x and y components of a vector. All right, let's figure it out. Let's learn math. Oh god. Vector x equals the hypotenuse times the angle. Okay, simple enough. I turn that into that. Times movement speed. And there we go. Let's see it. Now it should ideally work. I don't want this little video right there. 0.01. Let's figure it out. He's moving very slowly. Okay. Now that that works, I want to say we can probably implement the angle. I honestly do not believe enough in myself that this will work. I have no idea what was happening with it before. We'll see it. Oh. It's... Oh, yeah, that's the player. I'm not controlling the player. I named it very poorly. Because this was, going to be a very different game when I started making it. But it was moving towards that white square player. Yeah, I actually have the player controlling an NPC, which is not, well, what's called an NPC anyway. Not really, sensible. What is happening with my angle? I mean, he's coming towards me very menacingly. For some reason, though, like, this just doesn't make sense, right? Because the way his angle is being calculated with calc angle 2 should not interact with anything with the player at all. I don't really was this the problem? Because I used the term pull. I copy and pasted this from a different file, which is not really ideal. I could have just made the code better in the first place. I can't use lowercase a. Calc angle. So it's possible that even though I didn't invoke the variable that was in that file, by having the same name, it might have been affecting that variable. I would cry if that was the case. That's so stupid. But I don't really use C# all that often. Oh. I have an error. Oh. You know, I should probably see if that was actually, like, really important. Oh, angle. Nope. It doesn't even appear in this file. Oh, so because I didn't... What was happening is because I didn't say that it was a separate variable called pull angle for this method, it was using the variable that was in the other file. But yeah, this should be working now. The enemy is walking towards you. I'm going to bump up his movement speed a bit. Not too much. Oh man, I love how this has worked out now. Now you knock him back, and he stops moving for a second. Not only does he get knocked back, but you can see him just standing there. So I think that worked out pretty well. Movement speed, I will probably give... You know, I should probably change the song. I don't know how long this is that I just put on. 30 minutes. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but... Stained Bro Calamity, great song. Rush Xanadu, great song. That's a good song. Ideally, I would have had a playlist. So I've got the movement speed going. But yeah, I mean, the enemy is going towards the player. The only thing I don't understand is this circle is not showing up on camera, or in the game camera. There we go. Oh, he's not rotating towards the player. That would make sense, huh? That's pretty easy to fix. I've got my move towards player. All I do is self.rotation equals quaternion dot Euler 0, 0 equal to player. Quaternion is how C#, or rather just how Unity stores rotation information, which is really odd. I don't know why it's not just a vector 3. I mean, all I put in is 3 values, because it's just X, Y, Z axis. It's not a vector 3. I don't really get it. But that should cause the enemy to rotate towards us and actually point towards us while it's moving. Not exactly. This would be easier to visualize if I could see these circles. It's not really rotating at all. Actually, no, it isn't rotating at all. Not even a little bit. Is it radians? It might be radians. That's how you convert from degrees to radians. Times pi, divide 180. Yeah. Still not rotating. Let me see. Well, it's hard to say. The rotation is changing. Well, we can see that here. The rotation is changing. It's just not visualizing. That's bizarre. I might go for a pixel art aesthetic, and if that's the case, it won't really matter. I'm not going to have everything rotate seamlessly. But I don't know. What am I supposed to do with this? It's literally rotating. Oh, well, no. The rotation was a very small amount. We can see, well, I mean, it's big right there. Oh, wait, no. It was not the MA. It's barely rotating. Okay, maybe it's not radians. Let's try with a newfangled invention I like to call degrees. See if it works. Let's see the Z angle. It goes up to 6? What? That's so bizarre. It was kind of rotating. Well, no, not really. I mean, let's have the positioning circle. I mean, if we can see that, it's not really rotating at all. But it... Oh. You can see right there the lip between 0 and 360 degrees. It was rotating a lot. Why? Why would it do that? Who can say? Maybe the Euler. What value or what unit is Euler in? Bring the index down to Euler angles. It's in degrees. Doesn't really make sense to me. Because if I rotate... Oh. Well, there's your problem. Oh, that's just the circle. Why is the circle not rotating? Yeah. It has the capacity to rotate. Why isn't it, though? Yeah. Print angle to player. Let's see what is going on under the hood. It's not going to make sense, whatever it is. Yeah. Now that doesn't really make sense to me because its movements are fine using the exact same angle variable. Also, calc angle 2. Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't realize I made this returns radians. Returns in radians. It was trig. The problem was trig the whole time. So I should actually convert this from radians to degrees. Oh. Then I probably don't need this at all. So I guess the position uses, yeah, I believe the trig functions from the math functions class use radians, but quaternion uses degrees. Why would you double dip? Oh. Is there a problem? Math F does not contain a... Is it capital I? I guess so. Case sensitive. Why wouldn't it be? At any rate, that should probably fix the problem I was having. Yes, I can already see it. He's pointing directly towards me. Then you can start wailing on him. I give him like 100 health. Well, that's movement. So far, that's all I'll need. I'm gonna have a pretty basic double movement, double pathfinding system. Oh, I will have to include a ray trace from... Alright, we are back. I think. I will need to have it, yeah, trace array. And I honestly have no idea how to do that. So for now, I will probably just start implementing the attack. Also, I might want to implement knockback, just sending the enemy straight backwards, because I don't really want to knock them towards me. That's not even knocking them towards me. Yeah, I also don't really understand the way the knockback angles work. It's supposed to be contingent on where the mace is, but I guess the mace moves so quickly that it doesn't function the way I want it to. So, for knockback angle could just be itself. Well, I would have to calculate its own angle. How do I do that? Oh, wait, what am I saying? The angle is just the z component of the rotation. Self.rotation.z. Easy peasy. That should probably actually record it. Okay. I really wanted a knockback system where you can, you know, if my mace is swinging in this direction, the enemy would be sent that way. But, oh. Yeah, that's working as I intended it to. It doesn't knock them straight backwards, it knocks them back from me. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's probably honestly better than anything else. And then, I did want to add an on-death animation where it just grows big for a couple of frames before it dies. Like a color. More importantly, though, I should add Capsule Collider? Yeah. For the attack contacts. Material. I wish there was some way to visualize what the collider is. I mean, there probably is. So what am I going to do? Oh, so I'll probably have some attack behavior where when it gets within range, it'll wind up and swing. Which means I first need to define float, public float, range to player. Attack range would make sense. Attack range, public int, attack swing frames. I should probably... So this is the class I'm going to use for the boss fights, who will have multiple attacks, so I will make that an array. Is that necessary? Probably not. The boss, I don't know how I'll implement the boss attacks. Maybe I can make a class of attack with all of these. That would make sense. With all of these attributes: attack range, attack frames, speed, maybe like a bool for melee or ranged. Oh, and a projectile for ranged. Which honestly, I will probably make this ranged, actually. Public game object projectile. I should definitely make this a separate file for attacks. But then that's not really a game object. It's not a mono behavior. It would be a class, and I don't know that. Oh, hello. I don't know that. I don't know that Unity has classes. Probably does. I mean, it's C#. It's supposed to be a lot like Java. Let's just say projectiles will have attack at... Yes, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Circle. We'll say basic bullet. We'll give it the projectile class. Or the script. Projectile? Let's call it enemy projectile. This will contain its movement information, its, velocity, angle. Actually, I guess that's exactly the same way I had the enemy do it, so I might want to have it extract from the enemy. Huh. Hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Basic bullet. Let me actually open this. Wait, did I just open this script? No. Okay, so this will have int. Well, we'll probably float velocity, float angle, transform self trans. Self trans equals get component transfer. Now what get component does is it extracts whatever component is on the object this script is attached to. So, enemy projectiles on the basic bullet object. It'll take the transform component here, which is, you know, all of the really important stuff, all the position, the rotation. It'll take that from this object. So when I start making more of them, this code will take the transform from every single bullet that would have this code on it. Then I would have void. Well, I'm going to have a fixed update. Everything I have is running on fixed updates. Yeah, I like to keep fixed update at the top, so I will have void move bullet. Sorry, I'm back. Let's see. So, I mean, I can just copy and paste this from the enemy code. Yeah, it's not really moved towards player. Basically exactly the same, except the angle is not angled to the player. Oh. And then I can just replace all of this with the angle information. Angle. The angle will be to the player. Yeah. Most of the time the angle will probably be to the player, but it's not going to keep updating. It's not going to be heat-seeking. That would be pretty rough. So I could say public, or not public, just a float distance to player. Then in the angle, anytime it calculates the angle to the player, it will calculate the distance. Well, I could do that probably separately, but it would be using these values. So distance to player equals we square root f dot square root of yes, it's Pythagorean. Other dot position dot x minus self dot position dot x. Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong about this. Square that. Is that a function? I'm gonna have to believe. What's this game? Oh, this is a game I'm making. Yeah, let me show it off. Actually, let me make sure that the code I implemented did mess up the game incidentally. So I'm just going to comment that out. This game pretty basic so far. Oh no. Oh. Float. Yeah. I copy and pasted code, and I paid the price. This game is going to be a top-down Zelda-like action game. Your main weapon will be a mace. Got a semicolon. I'm back. Who knew? I disconnected. But anyway, that should be everything working now. And I get to show you what my game is so far. It's very basic. All I've got is top-down movement. The enemy is moving. And I've got the mace physics working. So you can click further or closer to the player to have different swing amounts, swing lengths, you could say. You can do this gesture for a kind of big spin attack. Yeah. I've got the a very basic hit effect. I don't like it. I am probably going to change that potentially tonight. But I've got my mace, I've got my enemy. I've spent most of my time working on just the feel of getting this mace right. So you can swing it and at any time arc it, left or right. You can do a wide swing, which you lock yourself into. Let me show you, when you're swinging, when your mace is swinging, you're moving slower. So you have to kind of think about your attacks a little bit. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you. Thank you for showing up on stream. Right now what I'm working on is getting a projectile attack for this enemy. Where did I put that? Oh, on it right now. So, first things first, basic bullet. It's a circle. We're gonna make it yellow. And I'm gonna scale it down. Now that's a bullet. You can see it right there. I'm going to give it the move bullet, fixed update. Fixed update runs every frame, so every frame it will be calling the move bullet method, which moves the bullet according to the angle it's supposed to go and the movement speed it's supposed to be moving at. Moves projectile according to the big thing now is I need to have the enemy start shooting these things at the player. And I could just have it be... I don't know, maybe every 30 frames. That's twice a second. Maybe every 90 frames. I believe I do already have frames. Oh, I don't. Int shot frames equals 0. Then in fixed update, I'll have if shot frames plus if shot frames greater than or equal to 90. Yeah, let me make this method void shoot at player. Float temp angle equals calc angle to player. Oh, I click. Then, I mean, it's very similar to the move toward player, just that I'm going to be instantiate. Oh, I actually have to oh, I did make a projectile type. I thought I had. I made a projectile type field for the enemy. So in Skeleton, I will take this basic bullet, and that will be the projectile type. So it will, when it chooses to shoot. Alright. Ah, here it is. Instantiate projectile type. Self.transform quaternion that Euler. Quaternion is how Unity stores rotation information. Temp angle. Ooh, and I'm gonna have to add in where's here? Make projectile. I'll have to make the angle and the movement speed public, so that I can actually have the enemy decide what those projectiles are going to do. So I will say game object bullet. I put 3 L's in that. Bullet dot I'll just do bullet dot get component enemy projectile dot angle equals, and just set the movement speed to, gosh, let me add in a public variable for this. Public float projectile velocity. And then that's what this movement speed will be. Projectile velocity. Oh. What line? 117? Oh, it's supposed to be the position. Itself already is a transform. Is it? Yeah. That should be good now. Did I make it actually shoot the player? No. Shoot at player. And now, that should be it. Now it should be firing projectiles at the player. Let's see. Moment of truth. Essentially. Oh! That's, quite a lot. Oh! You know what I did? Every time it goes beyond 90, it should reset to 0. So it's not just constantly dumping out bullets at you. But those bullets weren't moving at all. Oh, because I forgot to set the velocity. That would be that. Projectile velocity, we'll say 0.1. Which is really fast, because that's happening every single frame. Okay, I guess that's more like an actual projectile. And then I can do something like shoot at player. I might say, well, int volley. Well, why don't you just call it num projectile? Right? Int I equals 0. I is less than num projectiles. I is plus. Then I can add in a very basic pattern here. I can say temp angle equals this plus how do I do this? Let's say I wanted to spread 45 degrees in both directions, so let's say minus 45 plus 90 times 45. Okay, good, I'm back. 45 times. Oh, so I should say what I'm doing right now. I just got my enemy to start shooting projectiles at the player. Now I'm trying to implement a bit of a volley, so it'll shoot like 3 projectiles at once. This would work for the number 3. This should be 45 times 45 divided by num projectiles. Divided by num projectiles times I. I is the counter for this for loop here. That should work. There's no argument. Oh, I forgot to actually implement shoot at player with 3 projectiles. Let's see it. Whenever it loads. Does it work? No, I'm gonna say tentatively, no. Oh god. It's also very slow. Why wouldn't that work? Let me print the angle here. Print temp angle. Because it's very possible the angle is in radians. I already figured that out. And I'm making this mistake again. Alright, what's 45 degrees in radians? It's like pi over... That's quarter pi. Mathf dot pi divide 4 plus mathf pi divide 4. That should be the effect I want. Let me set the velocity a little bit higher as well. If I get this actually loading in. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Shoot that velocity up. So it's just gonna keep pumping out. Oh, you know what? That is not what I wanted, actually. That's interesting. Now, how do I fix that? That should fix it, but I need to make a more scalable implementation. So I'll have to add a something like an angle between shots variable. And then for melee, I mean, I can just make that projectiles as well. Yeah. That's more like it. Get that speed up. Let's get that speed down. That's probably good. Oh, I'll have to give all these colliders so that they actually can deal damage to me. And maybe even make them a little bit bigger. There you go, that's our first very basic enemy. We take basic bullet, give it a sphere collider. Or, I guess a circle collider. This trigger. Yeah. And radius. Should be just the same as the scale, I guess. Well, I don't know. I can't see it. Well, let's get the size of the projectile itself up to like 0.7. Then I'll need to add in some variables like how many frames between shots, like a shot frame delay for the enemy, speed, yeah, let me put those in right now. Int shot delay, int num shots, float angle between, what do I call it? I not call it num shots. Num shots. Angle between shots. Did I specify a velocity? I don't believe I did. That's a bit noodly how I've implemented this. So this method takes the variable directly from the object, but also gets past the variables from the instance of the object. That's a little inconsistent. But does it matter? Will I stop? No. Shot delay. Now let's see. Enemy projectile. Oh. No, I want the enemy itself. Oh! Oh, my mic. Is it still on? It is. Let's see. Movement speed. Attack range. I didn't implement any of those. Oh, did I not save this? I didn't make them public. Wouldn't you know it? Public. Getting all of those going. And I can access them more easily from the editor. And whenever it loads. Angle between shots. Number of shots, I will say, let's make it like 16. And the angle between shots will be 360 divided by 16. Let's say, what is... Let me just get a calculator out. No need to overcomplicate this. 360 divided 16. 22.5. Shot delay will say 40 frames. Velocity, maybe a little bit faster. Now it should be shooting kind of Don Maku's. Oh. Is not 16 shots, huh? Well, there we go. We got kind of a nice little bullet spread here. Oh, you know what? I need to make them delete after a certain amount of time. That's something I should definitely implement sooner rather than later. Let's see. Int frames alive. Frames alive. Plus plus. If frames alive greater than, we'll say 600, so 10 seconds, and you haven't hit anything, that's a lot. Let me make it 5 seconds. Why did I stick on there? Self trans dot game object. Oh. I need to destroy it. And that should... Oh, it's in this sort of the base object. Ugh. That's alright. I'll figure that out eventually. Yeah, that's actually all I have to do. Public original. If original. Well, like, if not original, then... No. Where's the enemy? Where's the shot? Bullet. Get component projectile. There's probably some way to create the script as a variable so that I don't have to get the component every time. Eh. I don't really need to do all that. It works. It's probably slowing down my game a lot, but it's a 2D game. I don't really mind. What was I doing? Oh, original equals false. Easy peasy. Now let's see it. Now the projectiles should be deleting, but not the original. Well, I could do things like... Oh, it did get deleted, huh? Because I forget... I forgot to set the... I forgot to click that one button. Who would have thought? Now, what I don't understand is that the angle of the bullet spread on the enemy here does not appear to be affecting the spread of bullets it's doing at all. Also, is it not shooting? It's not shooting as many shots as it should be. I mean, it's definitely not shooting 200... Oh, no, it definitely is. Huh. Let's turn that off. So, let me say, shoot at player. We'll play, each the number of projectiles. Oh, because I forgot to implement the angle. Angle between. Plus angle. What? Wait. What is this? What do I have here? Oh, yes. That makes sense. Oh. Angle between. It occurs to me that, I need to convert this into radians. So that's what? Math f dot pi times this, then divide by 180. Divide 180. Capital I. That should all be working now. With any luck. Alright, let's see what happens. Now it should be shooting really dense spreads of... Oh. That's... Oh, because the angle isn't, full circle. There we go. Now it's shooting a big, kind of Danmaku spread. You know, this isn't really the direction I wanted to have for my game. I'm kind of just testing the enemy projectile function right now. I kind of like this, though. I might like... Let's add in a few more skeletons. Let's copy this guy. And let's have a few... I don't know. Oh. Have a few different projectile amounts, ideally. Do like 3 and 30. 1 and 0. But he shoots a lot. Maybe I'm overcomplicating things, though. Having a bunch of projectile enemies that have very different projectile types. I think this one a bit slower, actually. 1, 3. Shot delay. Pretty high. Now let's see the chaos. Because they're all going to, the problem is that they're all going to, uh, group up on themselves. Well, I mean, not exactly. I'd have to let them move a lot. Yeah, but I kind of like this. Oh, that guy is not shooting correctly, is he? Whichever one is shooting one bullet directly at me is not shooting one bullet directly at me. I don't know what he's doing. Let's see. Number of shots, 1. Angle between shots is 0. I just don't know why that would be not functioning. They're all on me. Six I made it into Radiance. Yeah, I mean, I love this now. I might just do projectile enemies, honestly. I mean, I'm a projectile character. The mace is a projectile. I mean, I even called it a projectile in the code. I just don't know why the guy shooting singular shots is not hitting me whatsoever. You know, there's so much stuff going on. I kind of like this hit effect. It kind of does its job. I would definitely want a better one, though. Everything about it in the code is probably fine. I would just want a better graphic for it. Oh. He was kind of shooting at me. He's kind of leading his shots, actually. That's interesting. That's not what he's supposed to be doing. Man. Angle between shots, I mean... I'm gonna shoot directly at the player. Oh, wait a minute. Let me check here. Shoot at player. Yeah, I mean, it's, oh, wait. Well, there's the problem. Angle between. Yeah, then nothing should have been working like that. Then, as for that one, set this to 0, and it should be working fine. I should mention my game does not have sound currently. Everything you're hearing is from, I believe, The Messenger. Fantastic soundtrack. Oh, that's not it. Fantastic soundtrack. Let me pause this for a second. He is shooting at us now, which is what I wanted. This game has a beautiful soundtrack. Valhalla. Yeah, let's just play it. Oh. A little RPG thing I had open. Let's see, I mean, I kind of did want to have melee characters in this game. The point is that because we have a projectile, melee characters are going to be pretty easy to kind of dump on. But I mean, look at this. I love this. This is awesome. This is power, as my professor would say. Would definitely be a lot better if these guys died in a few hits and not 100 hits. I did bump their HPs up for testing purposes. I don't know, I was kind of thinking for projectile characters, they should be able to be killed in one swing of 2 hits. But if I make this a very heavily melee-focused game, then, yeah. Let's check out these projectiles. Yeah, they do delete. That is way more time than they need. It's really slowing my game down. It won't be a problem once I have, walls, because they should destroy when they come into contact with a rigid body, but there's no level design right now. We're just kind of an empty space. Whenever this loads. Yeah. What I could do, I could have... for melee characters, I would just give them a projectile that's big and dies, like, immediately. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason not to. So let's take the basic bullet. Copy. Paste. Now let's create melee enemy. Enemy melee. And for enemy melee, we're going to have it 3. Why not? We'll have the scale quite a bit up. Well, it should be flat. But wide, like a punch. Enemy projectile, I will just have public int lifespan frames. Lifespan frames. Then I can just say for the what do they call it? Punch? Basic bullet 1. Enemy melee. I'll just say its lifespan will be like 10 frames. Then the basic bullet will have a lifespan of what I had before, 120 frames. Then I can give any of these guys, any of these enemies here, the basic punch as the as their projectile. And then it's like I don't even have to make melee. I don't have to make melee hitboxes or anything because it's just going to be projectile hitboxes. The tag of, let's say, enemy projectile. What did I do? Yeah, there we go. Enemy projectile. And now, I believe one of them should be punching me. Oh, I still have to give them a range, though. A range to punch. Yeah, I mean, you can see he's kind of doing a goofy little punch right there. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of what I've got so far. I've got plenty of projectile types. I think I'll skip out on making leading projectiles. Oh. I think they take damage when I hit their bullets. Let me check this here. Either that or my mace has gone absolutely massive. No, All of them died to that. All of them died to that. Every step forward is 20 steps back. What is happening? Christ. Well, let me make sure that it is the projectiles that are doing that. Let me just comment these out. I mean, I don't think it would be anything else besides the projectiles, but maybe my mace's hitbox is... Oh! It is just my mace. Huh. Wait. Hold on. What was doing that? That was so bizarre. My mace just had a really huge hitbox for some reason. So I'm just kind of killing some of them. Oh, no. Oh, what did I do? Oh, no. So we're going to make that a separate version. Oh, Jesus, what did I do? So... Oh, I understand what's happening. I understand what's happening. Those have hitboxes. I forgot to add into the code... So stupid. I forgot to add into the code that on trigger enter compare tag layer. It's on trigger stay. Oh, I forgot to... I put the tag compare here where it doesn't matter, but not in the method that I actually ended up using. And that should be... Oh. Oh. That should fix... That should alleviate this problem. Whenever I can load into it. What do you know? Those dummy projectiles are not players. It works. It just works. Oh. And now with all of these projectiles, yes, none of them are just randomly taking damage. Once I add in pathfinding, I will probably have the projectile enemies, they will have a distance to the player that they prefer to... Yeah. Yeah, actually, let me comment that into the code right now before I forget. Shoot at player right here. Add in functionality doesn't begin to shoot until distance to player is within threshold. Then maybe I'll have a bool load up shot. Well, I don't have to do that actually. Where did I just put that? Right here. So I would add in if... I'm just going to make this true for now as a placeholder. Or actually, I should make it false. If false, put this in here. Else, shot frames plus plus. If false, or shot frames greater than 0. It should be more like a shot frame. It should be more reversed, I think. So I would say if shot frames equals 0. Shot frames, that's too complicated. No, it's a lot easier like this. I can just say shot frames goes up as long as it's greater than 0. That just now. Essentially, I'll have it say, if the distance to the player is not whatever distance to player is specified, pathfind to a comparable distance, then it's gonna be complicated. Pathfind to the specific distance. For a melee character, the distance to the player will be like 1. They'll try to approach you, then they'll shoot their projectile, and the projectile will be a melee attack that is in the form of a projectile. Just like Terraria does it. So if... Let me put this in code right. If distance to player is greater than calculated distance to player, then they would move to specified distance from player. Else, the shot frames go up. Shot frames equals 0. Yeah, actually, no, I kind of like this implementation more. So, essentially what will happen is a melee character would walk up to you. They would get to the proper distance. Then they'll have a wind-up where their shot frames has to go up to their shot delay. Then they'll attack at you. Gives you a bit of time to react. Yeah, that's all I have to do. Yeah, I've got a lot going so far. I've got everything I need. Enemies and an attack. I've got my big swing attack. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Yeah, I think I might call it there. It's been about an hour and a half. I've made a lot of progress. Enemies didn't even move when I started today, and now they are shooting all kinds of projectiles. Melee attacks, projectile attacks, all kinds of volleys. It's great. So, I think I will call it there. Thank you everybody who showed up. Yeah. Tunes of the World, remember to comment in your code. It's a really good idea. And have a good one.